Hi, fourth graders. We're going to go ahead and move on to chapter 8 today. Emily reached into her desk. She felt the package. Her mouth watered. Inside the package were 2 cookies, 2 big fat ones, 2 sugar cookies with nuts and raisins and rainbow sprinkles on it. She and her mother had made them last night. Those cookies were not for her December person. They were for Dawn Tiffany Basco. As soon as Dawn got up to sharpen her pencil, Emily put the cookies inside her desk. Then she sat back and waited. Now Dawn would know she was sorry about the fire truck line. I need some people to go on a message. Miss Rooney said. Emily raised her hand as hard as she could. All right, Emily, said Miss Rooney, you may go. And also, Beast knelt up on his seat. He had a magnifying glass in his hand. Please, Miss Rooney, he began. Jill, said Miss Rooney. Beast slid down in his seat. He held his thumb up to the magnifying glass. Emily smiled. Beast had Matthew's old magnifying glass. It must be a secret December person present. Emily went quickly to Miss Rooney's desk. Go to the custodian's room, Miss Rooney said. Ask Jim to bring up the Christmas tree. Ooh, everyone said. Emily hurried out of the room. She was lucky. This was a terrific message. She waited for Jill outside the door. Today, Jill was wearing green bows on her braids. She looked like a fat green lollipop, Emily thought. Emily remembered Jill was her secret December person. Your bows look pretty, she said. She crossed her fingers behind her back. Do you think so? Jill asked. She took a little hop down the first step. I think I look like a frog, a fat green frog. She hopped down the next step. Clunk, clunk. Emily's mouth opened. Jill reached the bottom step. Clunk, clunk, she said again. She started to laugh a little. Emily laughed a little too. Jill really looked funny with her braids jumping up and down. Do you think that we could stop for water? Jill asked. I'm dying of thirst. A quick drink, Emily said. Yes, Jill said. Emily took 3 gulps of water. Clunk, clunk, she said. I sound just like a frog. And Jill laughed. Emily waited while Jill took 3 gulps of water. These pages are hard to turn. Jill didn't look like a fat green lollipop when she laughed. Her face made Emily smile. It looked like the happy faces Beast drew in his notebook. They stopped to look out the window. I wish it would snow, Jill said. Me too, Emily said. We could sled right across the yard. Slide right into the flagpole, Jill said. Emily laughed, thinking about people banging into the flagpole. They knocked on Jim's door. Could we have the Christmas tree? Emily asked for room 113. Please, Jill added. Why not? Jim said. He had a box of crackers in his hand. Want some? Emily said yes. She took one. Jill said yes, too, and she took 2. Then they ran up the stairs. I'm dying of hunger, Emily said. Me too, Jill said. She broke off part of her second cracker and she gave it to Emily. Suddenly, Emily remembered Dawn's cookies. She wondered if Dawn had found them. Let's hurry, she told Jill. They raced down the hall. Back in the classroom, everyone was working on their ornaments. There was colored paper on everyone's desk, a piece of ribbon, and lace. Wow, said Emily when she went back to her desk. Jill raised her hand. I don't know how to do it. She looked as if she were going to cry. Emily sighed. Jill looked like a rain cloud again. Alex will help you, Miss Rooney told Jill. Emily slid down in her seat. She could see the cookies in Dawn's desk. She wished Dawn would find them. Emily went to her art cubby. She took out her scissors. She held them by the ears. Miss Rooney always made a big fuss if someone didn't carry his scissors by the ears. Emily was so busy remembering how to hold her scissors that she didn't remember her crayons. She went back to get them. Miss Rooney frowned. Settle down, Emily. Emily rushed back to her seat. She cut out a big blue circle. Then she looked for her glue. The glue monitor had forgotten her. She thought about getting up to get some, but Miss Rooney would tell her to settle down again. Maybe she'd draw some pictures on the blue ball first. Too bad the red crayon was yucko. She reached for her crayon box. Hey, said Dawn. She pulled out the cookies. Gorgeous, she said. Emily looked over. Aren't they gorgeous? Dawn said. Emily nodded a little. She smiled at Dawn. Dawn took a big bite. I wonder who keeps giving me all this stuff. Emily began. Dawn held up her hand. Don't tell me. I want to be surprised on the last day of school. Emily looked down at her crayon box. That Dawn Basco, she knew very well who had made those cookies. She knew that Emily had baked them with her mother. That mean Dawn Basco. She was making believe the cookies were a secret December person present. Emily made a face at her. Dawn stuck her tongue out at Emily. Emily reached for her red crayon. It wasn't hers. It was a brand new one. Emily put her hand over her mouth. Dawn had given her a new red crown. She leaned over. Dawn, she said, would you like to use my red crown? Dawn stuck her tongue out at Emily again. No, thank you very much, she said. I have my own. Then Dawn put the rest of the cookies into her mouth. Okay, so we're to the end of chapter 8 and chapter 9. We're finally going to get to see what happens with the relationship with Emily and Jill, and then with Emily and Dawn. I think that Emily and Jill are starting to become friends now, slowly. I think Emily has figured out that Jill's not really that bad. So, okay, I will see you next time. Have a good evening.